Hi everybody, hello, welcome to this first Bloomz interview in the lead up to our annual Bloomz show, which is coming up at the end of April. I'll put a banner on with the dates for that in a minute and so on, but first of all, let's introduce ourselves to you. I'm Fiona Hooper, I'm a member of the Bloomz group, and I'm a landscape artist working mainly in oils and sometimes with gold leaf, which is rather fun. So we have two of our Bloomz guests with us today. Oh, hello, Stephanie, and somebody else from Bloomz watching us as well. So two of our new guests for the show this year, Marion Deacon and Ben Lawton-Smith. So Marion, would you like to introduce yourself to us, please?
Hi, Fiona and Ben and everyone who's watching. It's really great to be here today with you all. My name's Marion Deacon, and I paint tree-inspired landscape paintings. I often work with mixed media, building up many layers to create the depth, excitement and magicalness of our woodlands and forests.
Brilliant, thank you. That's some of your work behind you there that we can see, which is just beautiful. It's colourful and got layers, as you say, and depth to it. Amazing. So Ben, how about you?
Hello, hi, hello, Bloomz, hello, Fiona and Marion and everyone who's watching. My name is Ben Lawton-Smith. I'm a figurative artist and I work predominantly in chalk and charcoal and in oils. So I'm kind of fairly classical in my style. I work in a number of different areas, from portraiture to figure drawing and painting, which I also teach, and some still life and some landscape as well. So quite a broad range from me, and excited to be taking part.
Yeah, well, it's brilliant to have you both on board. And this year we've actually got 7 guest artists. So we're going to have a fantastic range of different styles of work, different mediums. Hi, Steve. Steve Brooks is saying hi, folks there. Good to have you on board, Steve. So I've made a little list because I don't want to miss anybody out. Hopefully I haven't. So we're going to have obviously landscapes and figurative works, but we'll also have abstracts and ceramics. We have animals, both painted and fibre sculptures as well. We've got watercolours. We've even got some sculptures that are made from gum, crystals and gold and precious stones. We've got other figurative work, which is mainly of women, so sort of spiritual type women, very powerful images of gorgeous women. We have some lamps, which are Steve's wacky lamps, which are amazing. They're great fun. They represent characters, even animals, well-known characters like Freddie Mercury and so on. And not forgetting encaustic wax, which is another of the Bloomz members who works with hot molten beeswax and pigments. So if you've got any questions about those, come along to the show and you can visit us all in our own studios and ask questions, see our work, and just interact with us, get to know us. It's not a high pressure selling event. It's to allow you to come and visit artists, see their work, and do it in a very relaxed, informal atmosphere, not like a stuffy gallery where you're a bit, don't say anything in here and, get a bit worried about what's going on. But, we're very human, we're very relaxed, and we'd love to see you all at the show. So it's on, I've put the details on at the bottom of the screen there. You can book tickets already if you want to on the website. And the times on the Friday and Saturday are on the Friday night, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. UK times. And on the Saturday, from 10 till 1 in the morning session, and again 7 till 10 in the evening session. All of those are UK times, so it'd be great to have you on board. So, and just a couple of other bits and pieces on that before we all get talking about our art. And do ask questions in the comments, by the way. If you've got any questions for any of us here, we'd love to hear from you. When you come to the show, if you possibly can, please use a laptop or a computer of some sort, because you get a much better experience of the show, or at least a tablet. But if you're trying to do it on a phone, the functionality with Zoom is quite restricted on a phone compared with on a computer. So you don't get the full benefit of how it's all set up and actually coming to visit each of us separately in our rooms and having a really good time. We've had people that say, oh, I'll just come for 10 minutes. 3 hours later, they're still there. So it really is a really fun event and great. So I think that's all the actual sort of like techie bits to talk about. So let's have a chat about art and where we're going. And unless Marion or Ben, do you have any questions about the show from your point of view as being guests at the show and not having done it before?
Well, not too much from me really. Just excited to see how it all shapes up. I've taken part in a few different online exhibitions, but this one seems like, I don't know, the most interesting to me in terms of being really interactive and kind of encouraging quite a lot of different encounters between the participants, the artists, and visitors, potentially across the world. So really excited to see how that all happens.
Yeah. Oh, Steve has just asked how much are the tickets. They are free. Actually a free event, and from the comfort of your own sofa or dining table, wherever you want to be. You don't even have to go out the house. You can have your glass of wine, mug of tea, whatever to hand as well, which would be great. So free tickets as well.
So Fiona, sorry, I was just going to say, I understand that it's going to be on Zoom. Can you explain a little bit more? I mean, you talk about us people going into different rooms. When they kind of enter onto Zoom, how are they going to know how to get into different rooms and navigate around?
Okay, well, there will be help on hand. One of our esteemed members who is very good at this and has done it several times before will be there to guide people, even suggest an artist to visit if they don't know where they want to go. But there's also going to be like a chill out room, which will be showing our 30-second videos, which will all be put together so that, we've each recorded 30 seconds about ourselves, what we do, where we're based, and they can watch that show reel going on to see, oh, I think I like the look of that artist and their work. I'll go and visit them. They can choose from the list of breakout rooms who they want to go and see, and they can choose when they want to go in that room, whether they want to move to somebody else. They haven't got to wait for someone to do it for them. They can do all of that for themselves, unless they're on a phone. Sometimes that doesn't work very well then. Oh, hi, Mac. Mac's joined us as well. And the other thing you say about people around the world, Ben, we actually have artists from as far afield as Australia and Italy, UK, including Scotland for Mac as well. So that we do have visitors from all around the world, from Australia to America and Germany, Europe, all sorts of places. So it really is a worldwide event as well, international in the truest sense of the word. So yeah, so it's good, really good fun, and you can stay as long or as short a time as you like. If you get talking with someone. Oh, New Zealand as well. I did say Italy, Steph. And New Zealand as well. Yeah. And Switzerland. Sorry, yes, Katarina's in Switzerland. So yes, very, very international this year. So it's really good. So a lot of different sort of work, different sort of styles, something for everybody really to find out about. And you may well find there's some sort of work you really don't understand how it's made, like the encaustic wax or fiber sculpture with Steph's fiber sculptures. How does she do that? How does she build one from scratch? She'll be able to tell us all about that, which is just so fascinating. And and it's all done very informally, as I say. So it's Max says we tend to miss one person out. Yes, sorry, I did. New Zealand. But we put that right now. And Switzerland. Sorry, 2 people. So put that to rights now. But don't let me monopolise this, guys. Join in, and So
yeah, for sure.
Marion, I think you've got a piece there that's
I've
half
got a
done as
piece
well.
that's partly finished, so I thought I might just show this. So I do quite a lot of work where I actually I turn the canvas upside down and I paint with it all dribbling down. So I'm just going to sort of turn my canvas upside down to show you that. And then it all dribbles down, as you can see. And then I work many layers, as I've already said, and put a lot more detail on the painting. But I just thought it was interesting for you to see it quite up close. And you can see lots of the marks and the painterly effects that I create. And then eventually, as I say, after all the layers, turn it into the finished piece. I sometimes include collage. I include gouache crayons, acrylic ink, and acrylic paint. So it's a real wonderful mixture of mediums, and create paintings like this. So yeah, do come along to the show. And if you like trees and their energy and the way I think trees connect nature together, they connect people together. I think trees are a real powerful force. Pop in and find the room I'm in.
Yeah. And Ben, you say you work in oils, but you also do quite a lot in charcoal and things.
That's right. Yeah. So the style of training that I did is kind of a bit of a revival, really, of a training, the kind of training regime that was popular in the 19th century in the European academies. And so it's quite classical in its appearance. One of the things that I find really fascinating about it is that it is teaching this kind of classical language of drawing and painting. So we're studying all of the things that would have been part of the curriculum, 150 years ago. So, it's anatomy, it's studying light and form, and working from classical sculpture and all these sorts of things. But one of the really interesting things to me that's driving a lot of interest in this is that it's coming particularly from some of the most modern and kind of most cutting edge areas of design and creativity in the 21st century. And you find that a lot of these techniques that were being taught a long time ago are now really highly in demand for, particularly on the west coast of the USA, for people who are doing game design, concept design. Yes. They're doing special effects for movies and all that kind of stuff. And of course, as things are getting more and more realistic, you need to have technicians who understand, how to make a scene look kind of as though it has depth and spaciousness and all the rest of it. So it's a really interesting thing to me, this kind of idea of using a classical language to express something, very modern and very cutting edge. And it's just been really an interesting thing for me to be a part of that kind of revival in a small way. So,
because most gaming companies like that develop these games actually have sessions for their students and their workers, and of live sessions,
That's
live
right,
models.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It is going back to that studio.
It really is. And of course, I think it's kind of taken on a life of its own. The more viewers kind of expect realism and for things to be, the special effects to be indistinguishable from real life in a way, are the viewers' kind of tastes and abilities to understand what they're looking at kind of develops, and then it's fascinating to me. And from my own perspective, it just feels like a kind of quite an untapped scene, really. We've got so much new visual language and means of visual expression and ideas that haven't ever been captured in kind of traditional media like oil painting and drawing that we can now go at. And for me, there's I've got an upcoming project kind of relating to that, where I'm trying to use symbolism as we use it in the 21st century. So when we're thinking about emojis and communicating in kind of non-verbal symbols, and I'm working currently on a series of still lifes that kind of seeks to kind of play off that. So using really traditional kind of techniques, but to express things via 21st century symbolism. So yeah, that's kind of
fascinating.
Of a fun little idea that I'm working on at the minute. So
I just look forward to seeing a bit more about that in due course. Yeah.
So Fiona, do you paint outside at all, plein air, or do you prefer to paint in your studio?
I prefer to get out and paint whenever I can. Unfortunately, that's not as often as I would like, especially with the weather in this country. I'm afraid I'm not one to go out in the rain painting, or if it's absolutely freezing. But I do love to get out painting. But I also do paint in the studio as well, out of necessity. But sometimes with choice. With bigger works, I tend to work in the studio. So these ones behind me there, 60 by 60 centimeters. So they were done in the studio, but mainly from sketches, my own photographs from my travels, places that I've been and love. And, I just love wild places. The wilder, the better. A beach that's got nobody else on it, beautiful. For me, that is gorgeous. Forest, woodland, wild places like that is just, and that's what I try to bring into my work and convey, a feeling of tranquility and of being able to hopefully to sort of go into the scene and just enjoy it and relax and be energized while you're there. Sort of
is there somewhere that you've been to draw and paint that you really kind of hanker to go back to? That you're, you really itch to sort of return
definitely.
to each time, or where's that for you?
Well, I've been to Venice a couple of times, and that is fantastic. It's and painting some of the little back streets more rather than the main, famous sort of views. But that's amazing. But I would really love to be able to go back to the Rockies and places like Yosemite in California again and do more work there, because that's just, it's inspired some of these paintings, and just love it. Some of them I paint on gold leaf as well now, which I might have just mentioned earlier, such as this one. This one's on gold leaf on canvas. So, and I've got a couple of small ones here, and they tend to really change with the light changing on them. It sometimes even throws the paint into silhouette, so it can look quite different in different lights, and just quite fascinating really. And it just sort of shining through there, like the sun's actually shining through above the water. So I do quite enjoy doing the gold leaf. That's good fun. Oh, Stephanie is saying, so Stephanie is one of our Bloomz artists, and even as an artist at the show, she also wants to come and visit now. So we're doing a good job, guys. Keep telling everyone how much fun it is, because it is fun. It really is good fun. So, and Yosemite is stunning. Yes, Steph, it really is. It's an amazing place. I'd love to be able to go out there with, actual canvases, not just do sketching and actually paint there. Maybe one day that's going to happen, but we shall see. I've painted out in Norfolk, brushed with the Broads. That was good fun as well. It's really nice, like the Venice trips and Norfolk. You're there with a group of artists, and you're not all in the same place painting at the same time, but you meet up at the end of the day and see what everybody's been doing, what they've painted, and so many different styles. A bit like the Bloomz, you have so many different styles, mediums, ways of interpreting what you've seen. Even if you've got 3 people painting in the same location, there'll be 3 very different paintings, because one will be focused in on a boat with a boatyard, another will be focused in on the island in the middle of the Broad, another one, and just such different sort of representations of the same sort of venue. It's good fun. So
how about you, Marion, with your paint? It's a similar question that Stephanie's just about to ask, actually. I was going to say, is there a particular place for you that is kind of the artistic inspiration for your woodlands, or is it woodlands generally? Is it a particular place or not?
I mean, it is in some ways woodlands generally, and I've got some fantastic little places around near where I live, like Ockham Common and Wisley Common. But if I can get down to the New Forest, that's amazing. I love it. Love going down to the New Forest. I also did a painting experience holiday up in Scotland in a place called Plockton. which I would love to go back there again. It's quite a few years ago that I was there, but and also I'd love to have the experience of kind of traveling abroad to places like, I don't know, like parts of Canada. I think must be amazing to see their natural world and the trees and forests there. But yeah, I cycle on a tandem with my husband, and I get to do a lot of pedaling, but I don't actually have to hold on or steer or brake.
Okay.
So I sometimes take photographs with my camera while I'm pedaling, and I just sort of absorb the wonderful scenery that we pass and the trees, and then I often interpret that into my paintings as well. So I like to capture kind of a sense of being in the place as well as what it looks like, but the emotions that we can feel as well.
I'm looking forward to seeing yours close up at the exhibition. Actually, I can see already there's a really nice kind of sense of that dappled light and the kind of broken effects that you get in woodland like that. So that's that looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah, Stephanie says the redwoods would be great for you, Marion. I mean, they are just
I can imagine.
Just fantastic, and the size of those trees as well is just awe-inspiring. Some of them, but Steve says with Marion's work, I love the idea of letting the paint run. It gives such an organic look to the piece, which is very appropriate because that's what you're painting is the trees, the living. You know, they may not run around obviously, but they are living creatures, living organisms. And I think they, as well as being very organic, they're very grounding for people, to walk through a forest. I think if, it's just helps to sort of, feed the soul really.
For sure.
So, yeah.
If you've never hugged a tree, I'd encourage you to hug a tree. Yeah. It's an incredible experience, actually.
It's quite interesting. I was looking at sort of details for UK-based holidays, and they had I think it was something like forest bathing or something like that, kind of forest bathing experience. So literally just like you say, just kind of spending time amongst amongst the nature in that way.
So have you actually tried doing these sort of paintings actually in the forest, Marion, or are these more studio because of the the running of the paint and stuff like that?
These are more studio, but if I do get a chance to spend a good few hours somewhere like the New Forest, I fill the boot with all my gear, and I do work as much as I can in the way I would work in the studio, and the grass ends up spattered in paint as well. So that's good fun. Yeah.
Now we've got a really good question from Mac here. If you all had to choose 3 words to describe how you feel while you create your work, what would they be? That needs a bit of thought as well, doesn't it? What would they be?
I have to be careful not to be too oversharing with mine. I find people say, "Oh, it must be so relaxing being a painter." I often find it incredibly stressful. I nearly always feel like my own abilities are not up to the the vision that I have. Do you know what I mean? For me,
don't you think that's common to artists?
I do. Yeah, definitely. I definitely. I think the kind of tortured artist thing is, there's definitely some truth in that. But for me, I feel. What are my 3 words? I suppose focused, definitely. I feel like I go into a kind of almost semi-hypnotized state sometimes. When it's going well, definitely, like kind of that flow state, hypnosis almost. That's on a good day. On a bad day, the obvious one is frustrated. So that would be my 3rd word. I would say, not always at the same time. Yeah, the kind of the flow state and the frustrated state of the kind of appear at different times. But,
Marion, have you got 3 words that you can think of?
I think mine would be alive. I feel often very, very alive when I'm painting. Joyful, mainly 80%, 90% of the time, I just love it and it fills me with joy. And then the last one is questioning, because I think as an artist works, it might look like they all know exactly what we're doing and all that, but actually I think in our heads we are constantly questioning, what mark do I put here? What colour do I put here? Is this creating the effect I want it to create? And I actually find that actually it's quite intense while you're actually working. It's quite an intense experience, and it's quite tiring in some ways. And I don't think everyone actually appreciates that to start with. But yeah, I just love it. I say it's part of my DNA, really. Yeah.
I think mine would be awe, because I do tend for myself, I do portrait commissions and things as well. But for my own painting, it's all about nature, and it's all, awe at the beauty of this world that hopefully we can help to preserve by drawing attention to it as opposed to destroying it. Concentration has to be one of them, but also, I'm not sure serenity is the right word, but I do sort of, like you said a bit, Ben, sort of go into a zone, go into flow, and it, sort of in a transported into a slightly different state. And generally
totally
happy.
Get that.
Well, that's four.
Yeah.
So hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight, Mac. So
I definitely find the whole flow state idea is one that I find is kind of a universal to a lot of artists, or a lot of creative people generally, and it's the bit that for me makes it really worthwhile. It's from my perspective, I am a lot more studio based, and it's that ability to kind of get beyond the four walls, or even get beyond your own, almost the sort of four walls of your own mind, as it were, and kind of enter into something almost more universal in a way, and it's that I kind of feel like I connect with when I paint.
Absolutely. And I think that's a little bit like our chat today. The time, just if you're in that state, the time just disappears. And you think, oh well, I've got a couple of hours, and then you think, actually 4 hours have gone by and I should have done this as well. But
that's right.
So and on that note, our time is rapidly coming to its end on this interview. So I'd just like to remind everybody again, come and join us. We're going to have 15 artists at the Bloomz International Show this year. Dates are on the screen there, 29th and 30th of April. That's UK dates, and UK time 7 till 10 on Friday night and Saturday night, and on Saturday morning 10 till 1. And it's free tickets. It's going to be great fun. It's very informal, as you can tell from us sitting here just chatting away. We just like to chat to people and meet them, and talk about our art, answer questions, and hear your stories as well. So do come and join us if you can. It'd be absolutely fantastic to see everybody. We look forward to seeing you at the show. Don't forget to get your tickets. We will be sending out some reminders on Facebook, Instagram, and everything else that we can think of. So hopefully you won't miss those. The website, as Steph says, it's thebloomz.co.uk. Bloomz with a Z, please note, not an S. And Steve says, brilliant insight into all of you. Many thanks. Well, it's been great for me hearing about the way that Marion and Ben work as well, and learning more about their art. So, that's what we can all our visitors can expect when they come to the shows, to find out a lot more in a lovely informal atmosphere with a glass of wine to hand if they would like to. So there'll be quite a few artists that may have a certain glass or something next to them as well. So
it only seems right, really.
It does, yes, yeah. But we're not on the old artist absinthe as used to be, because we don't want to completely ruin our brains. So, so thanks everybody for watching and making comments. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Fiona, for setting it up as well.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, and we really look forward to having you two on board at the show this year. It's going to be really good fun. So there'll be another artist interview next week. unless somebody quickly puts that in the comments. I think it's Monday. Yes, Monday at 6 p.m. I believe that's the one, unless I'm very much mistaken. So look out for that next week, and to learn about 3 more of our artists. Yes, it is Monday, and I do believe it's 6 p.m. So, but you'll get notified of that as well. Come and meet 3 more of the lovely artists at the Bloomz show. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you at the show. Take care now.
Thank
Bye
you.
everybody.
Bye everyone.
Bye. Thanks guys. Bye.
Bye bye.